Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about DC Future State. I've read the first 6 Future State books that were released. So, Future State, Harley Quinn, Swamp Thing, The Next Batman, Superman of Metropolis, Wonder Woman, and The Flash. And here are my thoughts about the books. But overall, I'm just gonna tell you the books were kind of generic, were boring. They weren't as bad as all new, all different Marvel, but they just wasn't exciting, and they kind of throw you in the middle of something. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for getting the character introduced or whatever, but it feels like when you're trying to push these new characters, you need something more interesting than what they're giving me, and they're not really giving me anything interesting. I think the only thing that was really interesting for me was probably Swamp Thing all together, because it gave me that Planet of the Apes feeling, if that makes sense. The new rebooted version of it, that's what it felt like, which made me more interested in that one, I would have to say. But overall, still, the books are just generic. It feels like it's just an excuse to write something, which you can tell by reading it that these are just literally placeholders just because they need something out for the month of January and February until March come. I'm not really all that interested in the books, but I read it just to, see if I want to continue. I think the only one I will really want to continue is Swamp Thing, really, because I really wanted to be impressed by Yara Floyd, the new Wonder Woman, because that's the one that everybody's like, oh yeah, this one is amazing or whatever. And to be honest, no, it's really not all that interesting. She's basically a fish out of water in Greek mythology. That's pretty much it. Okay, I just thought that she'd be doing a little bit more or whatever, or maybe you know, I would have did for her. I would have had her opening up the comic book where she's already in hell, you know what I'm saying, the underworld and stuff like that, since the whole premise is her going to get her sisters from Hades or whatever, and her fighting off some mythological creature, or her sneaking in, and then maybe we get a little small flashback of what happened to her sisters and how she got here or something like that. It feels more of like a little cool Saturday morning cartoon moment, and that's great and all, but it just wasn't the oomph that I need to get really excited for this character. But my god, the book is drawn beautifully, though. It's beautiful, though. I can definitely tell you that one. But I'm gonna tell you, the worst one out of all the Future States was Flash. Yeah, the whole Wally West evil thing, and apparently he has a Pedersen in it, from the Four Horsemen of Apocalypse, and it just wasn't good. It just makes you depressed reading the book. I just was like, I just be damned. I just got over this nonsense from Heroes in Crisis. DC just keeps crapping this man a bad hand, and I'm over it. I am over it. I think out of all the Future State titles, that one's probably the worst out of the entire bunch, to be honest. That's just my opinion. And Yara Floyd was pretty interesting. I think the best one for me was Swamp Thing. Um, the next Batman with Tim Fox in it or whatever. The only problem with that book is it came off as try too hard with him, because at first they're trying to lead you on to believe that it's Luke Fox with how the boxes are going or whatever, but it's just like we already know is Tim Fox, well, aka Jace Fox now or whatever. And I just wish they just kind of made that more abundantly clear, because when you're reading it, it's like, wait, is it Luke or is it Jace or Tim Fox? But we already know it's Tim Fox or whatever. I'm not really in the mood to deal with another Gotham City quarantine crap, people taking over again. Like, we just had City of Bane and Joker Wars. I just don't care about Gotham City being controlled by somebody else, regardless if it's a villain or whoever. I'm just not interested in it. I could care less because it just comes off boring and predictable and stuff like that. It's just like, really, we're really letting these people take control of Gotham City when, at the end of the day, it's gonna be up to Batman and the Bat family to save the day, and then the citizens are gonna be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe Batman saved the day" or whatever, and then a few months later, then turn against him, and then let a villain take over, and everybody was just like, "La la 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 la," or whatever, and then complain about their freedom or whatever, and then it's just like this never-ending cycle of Gotham City being taken over by somebody and being in a strict code or whatever. I did enjoy the Outsiders side story that was in it. That seems more interesting than everything that I was reading from the next Batman. So that was really something else. I'm really interested in, the whole Black Lightning thing, why he's like this magical black lightning. I like what's going on with Katana, and I want to know how everything's going on. Like, Duke's going back in between Gotham City to rescue people outside of Gotham City, and it's just like, what is the team going to do fully now is the question. That's what I want to know. So I'm interested in seeing where that might go, but at the same time, I really have no interest in the next Batman himself. To be honest, I really kind of wish they just said Black Batman on the title, because again, it really does come off as try too hard for me. It's a decent book though. It's written very well up until the point where, one of the police officers talking about how masses have become political, and Tim Fox talking to himself about, I just don't know how Bruce Wayne, the real Batman, wait, scratch that, I'm the real Batman and this is my city now. And I'm just like, oh God, shut up. You already know why Bruce Wayne's not even there. So are you really the real Batman? Are you really the real Batman? Not really. You're just a placeholder until the real Batman comes back. No offense. But yeah, the story was pretty interesting. It just, well, not interesting. It was decent. It was written well though. I can tell you that one. But that Arkham Knight, I almost like fell asleep reading it because it was like nothing but the Arkham Knight just talking and talking and talking and talking, and you're just like, Lord have mercy, get to something. Damn. But other than that, it was a decent book. Then you get to Superman of Metropolis. Yeah, I mean that's it, really. John stupid behind bottles Metropolis and got tricked by Brain Cell, and we already know who Brain Cell is. Brainiac. Woo! Who could have seen that coming? So that was really stupid. He got tricked into bottling up the city of Metropolis, and then Mr. Miracle and Guardian is in there. Mr. Miracle trying to solve how to escape the bottle city of Kandor. Guardians trying to keep the peace within Metropolis because they're running out of food, water, air, and everything. I just don't understand what John thought that was a smart idea. It was so stupid. Matter of fact, it was stupid for DC to even accept that kind of nonsense. Oh my God, it was just such a flat story. It was such a flat story, and Harley Quinn's Harley Quinn. I mean, that's really it. That was a snooze fest if I'd never seen one. I'm over the anti-hero nonsense crap from Harley Quinn. Give her back her villainy, put her back in that justice suit, get rid of that white skin paint crap. She needs to go back to her human skin color and wear a Jester themed costume, because I'm over her goofy Deadpool bull crap. It's just not for her anymore, and it's actually overstayed its welcome, for real, to be honest. The story was really boring. I'm not even gonna lie, it was just boring, to be honest. they got Harley Quinn doing a mission to find Professor Pig and dealing with the Black Mask, and I'm like, okay, that's great and all. I mean, okay, and it got like this neon cyberpunk style to it, which I guess that's what they were going for, but again, just couldn't care less of the character. And I don't know why DC just keeps trying to push her, because she's not really all that great of a character anymore. I don't know. She was great before New 52, and New 52 just screwed her over. And it's kind of funny for all that talk about, oh, we're trying to make her independent and get away from the Joker. You literally had her be tossed in the same vat that created the Joker. Why? Why? And then you made her unnecessarily slutty. Again, why? When that's not what Harley Quinn was prior to 2011. Okay, sure, whatever. She's just, now she's slutty anti-hero Deadpool knockoff wannabe that really somebody need to shoot her in the head, to be honest. I'm over her. I am literally over her. But yeah, I think that was all my thoughts from pertaining to the books. For sure that was it. Do I have anything more to say about them? No, not really. But they just came off kind of like, man, like they're really a skip. You're really not missing much if you don't read them, and that's the thing that really bothers me, is the fact that the books don't feel like I should care about them, and that's what I was fearing the most, is that they were going to make these books where it was just their excuse to write something and draw something just for the hell of it. And that's exactly what most of these books came off as. The only reason why I'm excited about Swamp Thing, because Swamp Thing doesn't even get that many books any darn way. So, like, it's Swamp Thing. What are you gonna do? But the rest of them, you could have just went to the drawing board and started back over or something like that. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about them, but they really aren't that interesting. And that's the sad thing, which I already predicted. That I was like, I'm probably going to read these books and I'm not going to be interested enough to, continue or whatever. And that's true right now, that I'm like, okay, who cares? They're here. They're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. Thank God they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. Woo. So, score one for DC, but they were just boring. And that's the sad thing, is that they're boring more so than anything else. But yeah. If I would have to say number one for me would be Swamp Thing. Number 2 would be Batman. Number 3 would be Wonder Woman. Number 4 would be Harley Quinn. Number 5 is Superman, and number 6 is that god awful Flash book. Just that thing can just burn in hell, to be honest, because that was garbage on garbage. But yeah, that was it for me. It wasn't bad. That's all I gotta say. Future State so far isn't bad. It's just not good. It's kind of like, okay, cool, whatever. So when's March coming? but yeah, that was my little thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below about what's your favorite Future State comic book that you read so far, and are you guys enjoying it, not enjoying it, or are you just gonna wait till March? And I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.